everybody, it's April, and today we're going to talk about sun salutations. Woo, that's a big one. I also want to point out that I am wearing leggings from Loony Legs. They're always fun, fabulous, and make every pose feel great. So in case you didn't know, there are lots of different sun salutations. I think there have been different variations in just about every studio I've been to, and that's okay. It's kind of fun to experience different things. But I'm going to talk about some of the basic things you'll see in most sun salutations. So we'll start with a sun A, with your feet firmly planted, and you want your toes and maybe your ankle bones or heels touching. Standing tall, bring your hands to your heart. With an inhale, reach up. You can take a small back bend if you like. Exhale, folding forward, and just allow everything to dump forward. Now we're going to get ready for our half lift. So with your half lift, ideally you want your hands by your feet with your hands flat, or you could have your fingertips at the mat, or if you're not able to touch the floor, you can bring your fingertips to your shins. You do want your fingertips touching something during your half lift. So we'll begin with your inhale, press your fingertips into the floor, create length in your spine, very important, or you're pressing into your shins, and then forward fold. Step your feet back, coming into a high plank. So your spine is nice and long, belly pulling in, gaze is forward, and you'll shift your weight forward slightly as you prepare for your low plank or chaturanga, coming down halfway, and then move into your up dog. So the tops of your feet are on the mat, hips coming toward your wrists, shoulders press away from your ears, and then see if you can curl over your toes. Lift with your belly, press back to your down dog. Feet should be hip distance apart. Fingers spread wide, index fingers pointing forward. And then come up high on your toes. Maybe you just walk, or you could step your feet forward, forward fold, and then half lift. Again, you can press your fingertips into the floor or your shins, create that nice long spine, fold down, hands to your heart, come back up to your Tadasana or mountain pose. So another variation of sun salutations is to include lunges. So again, you'll start with your hands in your heart. Inhale, reach up. Take that back bend if you like. Exhale, fold. Half lift and fold. This time we're going to step our right leg back, coming into a nice big lunge. Left knee over left ankle. Right leg strong and straight. Heart extends forward. Palms to the mat, step left foot back, moving into your plank. Coming down halfway for chaturanga. Inhale, come back up into up dog. And then curl your toes, curling over your toes for down dog, if that's available. Or you can just step your feet back. And then you can step or float your feet forward, hands to your heart. Come up to Tadasana. So one more variation of our sun salutation, and this one is including jump backs and jump forwards. This is a way to really get your heart rate up. This is one of my favorite variations that I like to do if I'm in a hotel or something. I don't have a lot of space, but you can really get the blood pumping and work just about every muscle in your body. Hands to your heart. So I want to spend a little bit of time on the chaturanga. Chaturangas are tough, they really are. And if you do them wrong, they just get to where they hurt, and you're going to hurt your shoulders, and you get to where you hate them. Unfortunately, the only real way I know of to know if you're doing your chaturanga incorrectly is to have someone watch you, or you can watch yourself on your video. So I highly recommend videoing yourself while you do a chaturanga, just to make sure you're doing them correctly. So starting on your hands in your plank, one of the things I see people do incorrectly the most is that they're coming down and pulling their shoulder blades together. You really shouldn't be moving your shoulders when you do your chaturanga. Think about all you're doing is bending your elbows, coming down halfway. Maybe you come back up again. And the one I did earlier, I went straight into up dog. And that is always an option. So if you watch yourself and you see that you're pulling your shoulder blades together, a good option for you is to come down on your knees. Now you don't want to just start in a table. Start in your plank first, then lower your knees, and then you can go ahead and bend your elbows, come down halfway. You're still getting a chaturanga. It's just not, it's using better form and maybe not putting as much strain on your shoulders, your elbows, if that's something that you're feeling when you do your chaturanga. So then when you're moving into your upward dog, one thing you're trying to keep in mind is that you're moving your hips forward slightly. So one thing to keep in mind is if you're in your plank, shift forward a little bit, come down halfway, and then lift up. So you're pressing into the floor. And you're trying to keep that spine long, shoulders pressing away from your ears. So let's talk about up dog for just a moment. One of the most common things I see in up dog, and I'm going to turn this way a little bit so you can see a little more of my chest, is that people have their hands spread out pretty far, their shoulder blades are pulling together, they're just kind of opening up their chest a little bit, but this is putting a lot of pressure on my lower back. And you're losing that form of trying to have your wrists and shoulders in line. So if you, again, watch your down or up dog or have an instructor look at it and tell you what you're doing. But one exercise you can do, bring your hands back by your waist and then press into the floor. Lift your chest, press, press, press. You're also trying to one day lift your thighs up off the mat. So notice my hips are coming toward my wrists. Shoulders and wrists are in line, looking up, tops of my feet on the mat. This is a great up dog. So once you're in your up dog, how do you get to your down dog? So I'm going to go back to my up dog. I'm going to go into it from this way. So I'm in my up dog. So a few things you can do. One is, as I've said before, you can try lifting with your belly so you curl over your toes and then press down back into your down dog. So notice I didn't have to move my feet much, I didn't move my hands, and I've got this nice down dog going on, pressing my hips back. So another way you could go into it, so I'm gonna go back into my up dog. You could bring your knee, so I have my thighs lifted, you could bring your knees down, curl your toes under, and then press back to your down dog and readjust your feet or hands if you need to. So how do you know if you're doing your down dog correctly? Again, watch yourself on video or have an instructor look at you, but I'm going to give you some pointers. So first of all, I see a lot of people who start off like this. This is kind of really just a forward fold and it's not the down dog experience that you're looking for. So one way to know if you have your hands or your feet in the right place, I like to think about having my heels just grazing the mat. That way, when I press my heels down, I get a nice stretch in my calves and my Achilles tendons. If you're way up high on your toes, you probably have your feet too far back. And if your feet are flat, 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 there's a good chance that your feet are too far forward. So you want to try and find that little happy place. And think about a nice long spine. So one nice way to make sure your spine is correct, bend your knees, bring your belly toward your thighs. See how I've got that length going on? And then maybe you can straighten your legs. If you can't straighten your legs, that's okay. It's better to have your knees bent and that nice long spine. Think about pressing down into your fingertips, reaching your tailbone back, pressing your thighs back. Down dog, you know, it's in some sequences, it's a resting pose, but I just think it's so invigorating and I love it. I think down dog is such a great pose for you to do and really work on that alignment. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, subscribe to the Loony Legs YouTube channel so you don't miss the next episode. And you can also subscribe to my channel, Handstanding Grandma, for even more fun. See you soon.